The final percent. The final percent. The final percent. All right, I am live at the Massive Momentum event in Castle Rock, Colorado, and I was lucky enough to get invited to speak at the event with Doug Wood. If you noticed, I had different intro music. That's because we are doing a collaborative podcast today. Isn't that right, Doug?
Dude, this is awesome. It's like a co-hosting of the podcast.
Yeah, it's
the Final Percent and the real Doug Wood clash.
Yes. Well, I mean, not really augment one another.
That's right.
Multiply.
They come together.
Yeah, the coming together. Well, number one, I'm excited because I've been really following you since we met at GrowthCon 2, but we kind of saw each other from afar in Instagram land from GrowthCon 1, yep. And now all of a sudden, I mean, you're doing your own events, and I mean, it's funny because I'm listening to this book from Robert Kiyosaki that I just got. It's called Fake. And he's talking about how all of these people in today's day and age, you have fake teachers, you have fake money, you have all of these things. And so unfortunately, we're getting this predisposition that people are going to be fake. And I'm telling you right now, if you can come to one of these events, you should, because there's a reason it says the real Doug Wood. There's a reason. I mean, there's nothing fake about you. You don't know how to do that.
I'm tired of fake, man. There's too much real stuff going on behind the scenes, Greg, that we're all dealing with. And T and I we just kind of called BS on the whole thing. And we're like, we have got to come together, start talking about the real issues in marriage, faith, finances, a little bit of everything. And let's start getting real. So tonight, I mean, people are starting to come in now, but tonight is literally about 3 hours of getting raw, getting real, talking about the stuff we're all going through, to where get people to start winning again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's funny. I'll tell you, when I pulled up, I mean, your big old face on the side of the RV.
Oh yeah, man, go big or go home.
Come on, you just go you're all there.
That's right.
You're all there, and I'm telling you, I have this whole idea behind some of the things that I do, which is you have to, instead of compete with one another, add an L and complete one another.
That's right.
And push power towards power. And when I see people going as big as this, when I pulled up, man, I got excited.
Yeah.
I got pumped. And I'm excited because I mean, this is something that I'm going to be doing eventually. I'm sure this is not going to be our only event that we do together. I mean, you just become a tremendous friend.
Yeah.
It seems like I was just telling Jeff, your video and sound guy, how every time we talk, it seems like thoughts just multiply.
Yeah.
And we're on the same page, and then we supercharge one another. And those are the kind of people, you know, I read a book recently called Church Boy to Millionaire.
I've heard of it.
And he said that if you sit with the winners, the conversation might be just a little bit different.
We have good conversations.
We have pretty good conversations.
Well, I didn't even know after you and Kayla came to Phoenix about 6 months ago, 5 months ago, and we met up there at the Princess, and we just had a couple cocktails, and we had a good conversation. And I told you about the book, the name of it, and you're like, oh my gosh, Doug, do you know that I wrote Homeless to Millionaire?
Yeah, Homeless Millionaire, and it's funny. We should make. I think I have like 9 of those original books, and I think my wife might be bringing them. And I'm gonna make the joke when I get on stage. I'm gonna say, what do you get when you put a homeless person with a church boy? A millionaire.
That's the thing. That's why I love you and Kayla, man. You guys are vibing at a different frequency. And I wish people would understand that. The people that we're talking to, hanging out with, doing business with, going out to happy hour with, are the people that we're literally going to become more like. And I know as cliche as it sounds, it's so freaking true. And since you and I have started hanging out the last year, like it's amazing how we're just like vibing, tribing together. We're doing big things. And here we are hosting Massive Momentum tonight. You're coming to speak. I'm opening up for you literally to go unplug and be you, and it's gonna be a powerful night.
I'm excited because one of the things about you is you never really know what you're gonna get with Doug, and every time I talk to you, it's such an amazing thing because there was one time we were talking, and I think it was actually on my podcast. I called you, I interviewed you on my podcast. And you said, man, I'm taking notes right now. I hope your listeners are taking notes. And when you said you were taking notes, I looked down and I had already been taking notes of you talking.
Right.
And it's just funny how similar and everyone has their different roads and everyone has their different ways that they're going to get there. But there is this frequency that people operate on. And when that happens, you feel that kind of, I mean, I'm a music guy, so I mean, there's a harmonic frequency that happens when you meet the right people.
That's right.
You know? And that's why, like, I was telling him, I said, you know, I love events like this because, look, we're going to get one of two kinds of people who show up here. We're going to get people who are doing really great things, or people who are trying to get to where they can do really great things. I want to hang out with people like that.
And that's what Massive Momentum is about. It's for average people with above average desires. Greg, you're average. I'm average. But you know what's not average about us? Is our desires for more. Our desires for a better marriage, bigger business, to make bigger impact in our communities, in this world. That's why we're doing podcasts like this. We don't get paid for this.
Exactly.
It's to literally add value to others. And we're all on this journey together, man.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, I guess we have a camera right here instead of me talking at the microphone. But just so you guys know, this is how similar Doug and I think. He walked in. It's 30 minutes until doors. And he goes, you want to bang out a quick podcast? We both had all of our podcast stuff with us. We're always ready.
That's right. Well, you know, you taught me to be ready a couple months ago.
You got to, man.
Yeah, you showed me this stuff, and I'm like, man, I could do this on the road. So you know what? Because people that were on my last podcast, The Real Doug Wood, I did it in Boise. And sometimes I just get those, I call them passion moments.
Yeah.
To where you have to just do a podcast now.
Yes.
I walked in the door, and I'm like, Greg, how often are you together where we have our equipment? We'll always have our equipment, but together where we had a couple minutes, no, you've got to just do it now, because when the Spirit moves, it's like, do it now. Otherwise, you'll miss the moment.
Well, everything is action. And I think one of the things that people, and I know that you probably had the same thing when you were trying to build your business and you're trying to let your desires speak to you enough to where you actually take action. But so many times people aren't taking action because they're waiting for everything to be perfect. And I want everyone to know that perfection is action.
Right.
Like, stop waiting for things to be just right.
Yeah.
Like I loved in your book when you were talking about the whole idea, because me and Kayla, we're actively trying to have a kid. And when you were talking about getting ready to say yes to your wife, and Phoenix was going to come into the world, and I just thought it was interesting, because there's so many times in that where you're just like, well, I want things to be right and I want this, and then when you were like, it's never going to be
Dude,
right.
I'm 9 years in, I'm still waiting for it to be right. I mean, seriously, get them stars to align, because they will never freaking align. And that's why, if people just understood that, it's like, it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to wait till, okay, Monday, I'm going to really get serious about my health. No, you're not.
No.
It starts
right now.
today. Just do something. Go drink a glass of water. Put down the freaking Coke. Do something. Stop going through so many drive-thrus. Just take some action right now to move your life forward.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's the thing, is people have this analysis paralysis thing. So they're just, well, I want to figure out if it's right for me, and I want to is health right for you? No, trust me, you're going to really want to have health in your life, because it kind of lets you be here longer. You know, it's the only way to elongate your time on this earth. And so many people are, oh, well, I eat out of frustration, or stress eat, or this, that, and the other. And it's just, you've got to just confront and contend for your health.
That's
contend is a thing that I learned from you and your wife, and I've used it so many times, and it's been so impactful for me.
Yeah. Well, there's so many victims in life, and I think, don't get me wrong, I want to be respectful. Bad things happen to good people, to all of us. Bad things happen, not just computers crash, or, something happens. I'm talking car accidents, bad diagnoses. Sometimes we're just dealt a bad hand or a bad family. But at some point, you have to wake up and stop being a victim, and stop giving that car accident that happened 5 years ago that changed my life forever. You're right, it did. And how are you going to embrace it? How are you going to embrace that obstacle and let it become the way to where it's no longer your place of pain, but it becomes your place of reign, Greg? And I have saw so many people get big wins when they're like, you know what, I'm not going to be a victim anymore.
Yeah, dude,
I'm going to take my power back.
Yeah, dude, that's so awesome. And I think that the negative side of things is really, really important. And here's why. If you have someone who won't cry with you and won't feel that pain, think about like your preacher. If he knows that you're going to hell, I would really like him to tell me that he thinks I'm going to hell with tears in his eyes instead of a smile on his face.
Right.
So positivity is not everything. No. It's a big part of it. Right. It can change your mindset, but you have to I steal so much from you. I absolutely love it. You got to embrace that pain, because it could become your place of reign. Like that's huge, man. And that's the thing you have to understand, is you get just as much power in the positive as you do the negative if you have the right perception. Yeah. and you look at it the right way. And so and that's why, like, every time we get together, I get these new ways to look at things.
Yeah.
It's just like putting on a set of glasses, you know?
There's two things I'm thinking about here is that it's going from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
Absolutely.
Because look at you and I coming together. It's like, you're like, oh, Doug, I get so much from you. And I'm thinking, I'm learning so much from you, Greg. It's called reciprocal mentorship.
Yeah.
And we're not
absolutely.
in a world we're in competition with anybody. And, you know, being a coach, being a health coach, I get a lot of people on my team coming to me like, oh, I got to talk to that person, or, ooh, I'm glad I'm the first coach in this town because there's nobody else in the town. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's harder to be a coach where there's nobody around.
Exactly
You
right.
want to be in collaboration and partnership with people who are doing something, because most people aren't doing anything. So quit looking at it as, I got to get my in first, or who's got this bigger, better. It doesn't matter.
And that's
get
why,
in collaboration.
And that's why you get into completing instead of competing. And the reason why that has become so big for me is I realized, especially with me owning colleges and stuff, I realized that the model of the way people learn is completely wrong, because we are testing these students individually.
Right.
When everything on how they're going to make it in the world is going to be based on whether or not they can work in a team. But if you're in the middle of a test and you put your heads together, that's called cheating.
Right. It's jacked up, and
That's completely opposite. We're putting our heads together. We're changing more lives.
Exactly.
So what the heck? We're not cheating. We're helping more people. It's exponential. It's 1 + 1 stops being 2. 1 + 1 now is 37.
Absolutely.
Because both of our impact.
It is, and that's why I'm so fired up about education. I mean, you know me, my plug for my own school. Tia and I co-founded an online school. It's 3 through 12th grade. It's fully accredited, because I'm done with the system.
Exactly.
I'm
right.
done putting my kids into the system. If you guys want info, you can go to valorglobalonline.org, and you can find out more info. But it's the truth. It's like, in today's world, we want everyone to be together.
Yeah.
Do things on your own. Don't cheat. Don't look over. But then the rest of life, you're supposed to play well with others.
Yeah, you have to. It's teamwork. Doesn't play well with others. Doesn't this. Doesn't that. No, you have to learn how to build one another up. That's why one of my big things is always push power towards power.
Right.
So many people try to diminish power. Oh, that'd be like me. Like, right when normally an influencer meets another influencer, they're like, oh, I don't really like him because he does this. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't this. No, how can you go help him? Right. Can you imagine if we all thought that? Then I wouldn't have to look over my back, because I have 9 billion people watching my back. If everyone said, how can I push power towards power?
And you know what? That's why 2 years ago when I met you at Grant Cardone's conference, I was like, dude, this guy's different. You and Caleb run to a different beat. Mm-hmm. And I think, that's why I don't want to sit here and, stroke each other, but why not for a second? It's pretty cool to be in partnership with
Absolutely.
you and to do this event. I mean, it's getting louder in here. Massive momentum is about ready to get wild. People are filing in, so you're hearing the background noise. But it's exciting, because we're going to do some big things. We are doing big things together right now, but I just can't wait to see the lives, the eyes that get wide open tonight, that realize that, you know what? God does have more for me, and I can do
it. And the thing that I think is a great thing is, because there's so many models where people say, you make it because someone stays home and does all of this stuff, and the other person brings home the bacon. And I think it's absolutely incredible what you and your wife are out there. And, like, to be honest with you, we're anomalies. There's not a lot of people who are husband and wife going out there to try to change lives, run their business together, run their lives truly together, the integrated life.
Right.
Another great, I'm just saying it, you can learn a lot more about this at Church Boy to Millionaire. You should get the book on all forms like I did, because number one, he's my buddy and I want to support him. But number two, it actually is, and if anybody who knows me, and if you don't know me, I'll screenshot my Audible account and my iBooks account, and then everything that I bought before I knew that I could get it in a streaming format. I have over probably 1,400 books. This book is in my top 5. I'm telling you, and I know that it's your story, and I know that you, and I sent you that audio message.
Dude, I know. That's what I was just going to bring up.
I was blown away. I had so much on my heart, because I'm like, dude, whenever you get to the point where you're just like, okay, people don't get it, or people don't this, or people don't that, because the world obviously is not in the smartest place. I was like, just don't quit. Do not quit, because I'm telling you, and you guys are going to understand what I'm talking about when you get the book. Yeah. I'm telling you, and I'll tell you right now, the first 10 people who comment below, I will buy a book and I'll send it to you. And I might even send it to him first and get a little signature. Come on, some
we
extra
can
hookup.
accommodate. Heck yeah.
Because I'm telling you, it's so different because you start understanding what's possible.
You do.
And you have to understand what's possible.
And that's the thing. I wrote the book for literally. I wrote the book that somebody I wish somebody would have given me 10 years ago, because I was a hot mess. I wasn't even hot. I was a big old mess.
A big old mess.
I was just a big old mess, and literally, I wanted to write it for someone who's never wrote a book or read a book before.
Yeah.
That isn't used to that just is ready to quit on their marriage, their business, their life, their faith, and really, I opened my. I'm not trying to put myself out there, but I literally opened my life up to where you could see the pains, the cries of a husband, of a father, of a businessman that feels like he's losing all.
He's getting goosebumps right here.
No, I am.
Come on.
Yeah, I am.
Just so you know what goosebumps just happened on me too. The goosebumps is God's tuning fork going off in your heart, saying that what's coming out of your face and what's coming into your ears is true.
Yeah, I don't make crap up.
And he doesn't. He doesn't know how to. He's done with that. I'm done with that. That's why, I'm excited, and I'm telling you, the book has already. And I mean, I had an employee come to me, and she looked at me and she goes, in this company, is there any way that we can get a circle of truth? Mm-hmm. Just to where no matter what, we come there and we can start really speaking truth, so that no one's thinking this, that, and the other. And I thought that was so powerful. And I said, Church Board of Millionaires? She said, you know it.
That's right.
So I'm telling you, we probably should get to the event, but I'm telling you, massive momentum. If you're in one of these cities that he's coming to, he's got 15 more dates.
15 more.
So he's going after it.
We're rolling out to Tulsa tomorrow morning.
There you go.
But go on to MassiveMomentumTour.com, find out where we're going. We're going to be all over the Midwest, the East Coast, the South. It's going to be awesome.
And I'm just going to put him out there. I'm just going to start dropping hints. In February, he's tentatively thinking about putting a big conference on, which he needs to do because he can really change lives. So I'm just saying, if you start maybe accidentally putting, don't put anything on your calendar in February so that you might end up in Arizona, change your life even more. He's an incredible person.
It's gonna be good, and it's gonna be big, and tonight's gonna be good. And Greg, I'm excited. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
It's gonna be good.
And really, just I just really been praying for tonight that God would just do some big things in some marriages, some lives, and some businesses that needs their eyes open to get into action. Yeah, and that's what tonight's about. So,
awesome.
Bro, let's go do it.
All right, man, dude. Let's make it happen. Let's. I don't remember. I think. I got it right. Come on,
there it
man.
is.
What?
Real Doug Wood ain't even hit his prime yet. Unplugged with a millionaire mindset. Come on,
yeah, man.
Boy to a millionaire. Get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go change into something that makes me look better. Still going? The final percent. Massive momentum. The final percent.